welcome all the devotees for Shubha Mangalarti. I would like to congratulate and thanks all the Japa leads behalf of our circle leader, Matrapati Madhusudan Prabhu. Radha Madhav ki Jai, Panchatattva Bhagavan ki Jai, Jagannath Subhadra Baladev ki Jai, Gaur Nithai ki Jai. So once again, my heart welcome to all the devotees, those who are present in today's Bhagavatam session. So today we are sharing Canto 1, Chapter 9, Shloka 24. So let us start with the prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devam Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nitya Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtake. Hare Krishna Prabhu, can you share the screen? So before that, we'll have a short kirtan. Jayo Radha Madhava, Jayo Kunja Vihari, Jayo Radha Madhava, Jayo Kunja Vihari, Gopijana Vallabha, Girivaradari, Gopijana Vallabha, Girivaradari, Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Gandharvika Giridhari Gaura, Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha, Jayo Anantade, Lakshmi Narasimha, Jayo Anantade, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Gurudev, Jayo Gurudev. So, Hare Krishna, thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity. I'm not having any qualities to talk about Srimad Bhagavatam, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, only by the mercy of all the Vaishnavas and the guidance and the opportunity given by our circle head, His Grace Matrapati Madhusudan Prabhuji, and my mentor, His Grace Vrajanath Varadarajan Prabhuji, just have given me this opportunity to purify myself. So thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity, Prabhujis, and all the dear devotees. So whatever I speak today should be only the intention to please all the Vaishnavas and my purification of my heart and mind. There is no any other intention. Kindly bless me so that I can speak whatever is there in the parampara and please all of you for the today's session. So let's go to the shloka. Prabhu, the screen went off. Hope I am audible. Can someone please help me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. If anybody would be the chorus, that would be a great help for me.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Canto 1, Chapter 9, Shloka 24, Passing Away of Bhishmadev. Sadeva Devo Bhagavan Pratikshataam.
Sadeva Devo Bhagavan Pratikshataam.
Kalevaram Yavadidam Hinomyaham.
Kalevaram Yavadidam Myaham.
Prasannahasa Arunalochalolasat.
Prasannahasa Aruna. Mataji, can you please?
Prasannahasa Arunalochalolasat.
Prasannahasa Aruna Lochanollasan.
Mukhambuja Dhyanapatascha Chaturbujaha.
Mukhambujo Dhyana Pathascha
Chaturbujaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So we'll read the word-to-word meaning. Saha, he. Deva, Devaha, the Supreme Lord of the Lord. Bhagavan, the personality of a Godhead. Pratikshitham, may kindly wait. Kalevaram, body. Yavat, as long as. Idam, this material body. Hinomi, may quit. Aham, I. Prasanna, cheerful. Hasa, smiling. Orana, Arunalochana, eyes red like a morning sun. Ullasat, beautiful, decorated. Mukha Ambuja, the lotus flower of his face. Dhyana Pataha, in the path of my meditation. Chaturbuja, the four-handed form of Narayana, the worshipable deity of Bhishmadev. So let us see the translation and purport. By His divine grace, Abhya Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. May my Lord, who is four-handed and whose beautiful decorated lotus face with eyes as red as a rising sun is smiling, kindly await me at that moment when I quit this material body. So let us read the purpose. Bhishmadev knew well that the Lord Krishna is the original Narayana. So dear devotees, kindly pay attention. It's a very wonderful purport. So his worshipable deity was four-headed Narayana. But he knew that four-handed Narayana is the plenary expansion of the Lord Krishna. Indirectly, he desired Lord Sri Krishna to manifest himself in his four-handed features of Narayana. A Vaishnava is always humble in his behavior, although it was 100% certain that Bhishmadeva was approaching Vaikuntha Dhama just after leaving his material body. Still, as a humble Vaishnava, he desired to see the beautiful face of the Lord, for after quitting the present body, he might not be a position to see the Lord anymore. A Vaishnava is not puffed off, although the Lord guarantees his pure devotee entrance into his abode. Here, Bhishmadeva says, as long as I do not quit this body, this means that the great general would quit the body by his own will. He was not being forced by the law of nature. He was so powerful that he could stay in his body as long as he desired, he got this benediction from his father. His desire that the Lord stays before him in his four-handed Narayana feature so that he might concentrate upon him and thus be in the trance in that meditation. Then his mind might be sanctified with thinking of the Lord. Thus he did not mind wherever he might go. A pure devotee is never very anxious to go back to the kingdom of the Lord. He entirely depends on the God will of the Lord. He is equally satisfied even if the Lord desire him to go to the hell. The only desire that a pure devotee entertains is that he may always be a rapt attention with the thinking of the lotus feet of the Lord. Regardless, Bhishmadeva wanted this much only, that is, that his mind be absorbed in thinking of the Lord and that he passes away. Thus is the highest ambition of a pure devotee. Hare Krishna. So let us have a prayer. अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानार्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुश्रीयुतपादकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्विताञ्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Once again, my koti pranams to all the assembled devotees. So thank you for the wonderful opportunity. As I told you, it is just an effort. It's my purification seva and to please all the Vaishnavas. And by the mercy of my Shiksha Gurus, I have taken this opportunity. Thanks a lot. So once again, so we'll go through the shloka. So Canto 1, Chapter 9, Shloka 24. Sadeva Devo Bhagavan Pratikshataam Kalevaram Yavadinam Hinomyaham Prasannaha Sa Arunalochalolasat Mukambujam Dhyanapataschaturbujaha. Translation: May my Lord, who is 400 and whose beautiful decorated lotus face with the eye as red as a rising sun is smiling, kindly await me at the moment when I quit this material body. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshcha Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Krishna Vishesha Shunyamadi Pashyata Vishatharani Avadanyaya Krishna Prabhupradhate Krishna Hare Krishna. So yesterday we are discussing on 23rd shloka. Varaha Prabhu was nicely saying that in this shloka it is all about Bhishmadeva is glorifying the Lord himself, right? So here we can understand the Lord's Swamsha expansion, Swamsha Vistharane or expansion, plenary expansion of the Lord. And the other point, what we are understanding is the main qualities of a pure Vaishnava or pure devotee. And here also we can come to know the Bhishma's benediction from his father and how this benediction is not going to affect the three modes of material nature. And very important, all of us should understand that a pure devotee never anxious of going back to Godhead. He is setting, Bhishmadeva is setting an example for all of us how to live the body as a pure devotee. So here we can understand two things. One is Bhishmadeva's mind. Bhishmadeva is completely absorbed by Krishna. He is thinking only about Krishna and he wants to, he is so humble and he is filled with humility. If he wants to leave his body, he wants to take a darshan of the Lord. So here we can also see the exchange of Bhakti Rasa by his great devotee as well as the Lord himself. So humble Vaishnava, assuming that he may not go back to Godhead, in that case, at the last moment, till his last breath, he wants to take a darshan of the Lord. Even in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, we have studied so many shlokas where Lord himself says that Manmana bhakto manmana bhava mat manmana bhava and antakaleshu mameva. These all shlokas, Krishna says that, so the devotee's position is always thinking and serving Krishna. Desha satata yuktana bhajante priti purvaka. So Krishna just wants the pure devotion. So pure devotion is nothing but just working or serving for the satisfaction of the Krishna. There is no any karma kanda activity. So somebody who is not a devotee of Krishna should select, I mean, generally we can say yogis, they select a auspicious day to quit the body, right? To escape from this rebirth or this material bondage. For a common person, generally, a person has some material desire. What happens? He has to come back to fulfill his material desire, right? So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, so for his devotee, Krishna takes personal charge as soon as they leave their body. As we know, in many examples and many stories in Bhagavatam, Krishna takes a personal charge of his devotee. So Krishna, in this shloka, we can understand that Krishna expands himself as a four-handed Narayana because the Bhishma Deva is desired to take a darshan of the Lord. The main qualities of a devotee is to be a humble and tolerant. Then only he can progress in Krishna consciousness or in bhakti. So Bhishma is very humble and his humility is so great and he is so pure devotee, 100%. He has all the qualities to go back to Godhead. He is doubly ensuring that after quitting his body, in the last moment, he want to have a darshan of a Lord, but in the form of four-headed Krishna, because he is in the Dasya Bhava, is more into the opulence. He want to worship the Lord in more opulence form. So that is the reason he want to see Krishna in the four-handed Narayana form. Even in Bhagavad Gita, we saw Arjuna want to see a Lord in Vishwarupa. Then finally he is concluded that I want to see in just a two-handed Goloka Vrindavan Krishna, right? So the same way, here we can understand the primary qualities. What Prabhupada is trying to say is the primary qualities of a devotee is always remember Krishna, think of Krishna. Pure devotees always want to satisfy Krishna. There is no other intention for their service. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that different kinds of living entities and what kind of respect given to them is already mentioned in all the Puranas. One has all the qualities. Even if we take an example of our very famous legends of the history or in politics, in whatever the field, though they qualified, they have a n number of skills and qualities. But if they are not a devotee of Krishna, then there is no use. So take an example of any great singer or any great politician, whatever it is, unless and until they are not knowing about a Krishna and they don't know what is the purpose of the life, there is no point, because they have to entangle in Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. They have to take a rebirth. So Bhishma Deva is so great, one of the Mahajan, and he's so great devotee. We can understand in two things, which cannot be done in any of the living being. So he's so great because of the two things. One is he is conquer the time, means he control the time. He conquer the time in the sense Icha Marani. He's a Icha Marani. He got a benediction from his father because he has taken such an auspicious oath. Nobody can take in their lifetime and nobody can maintain it. Correct? Many of us also in Chaturmas, in other times, we have taken enough oaths and we are nicely, break it within the Masa ends. But here, we are so grateful to discuss about Bhishma Dev because he has conquered, he got a victory over two things. One is on the time, the death, and another one is on the lust. So very important, because he has taken an oath that he will not get married, and he's maintained till his end of the breath. So here, with the example of Lord Bhishmadev, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, want to show to us or to the entire world that no matter how great you are, but if you are side of adharma, you have to perish. So that is what we can see in the shloka. So finally, we see Krishna, even Bhishmadeva is so great that though he is side of adharma, but he has glorified Krishna many more times. Especially Bhishmadeva, during his when Pandavas performs Ashwamedha Yaga in the assembly, whole assembly, Bhishmadeva is wholeheartedly glorifies Lord Krishna as a supreme personality of a Godhead. Here also in this shloka, in this entire chapter, he glorifies the Krishna wholeheartedly as a supreme personality of a Godhead. That is the reason finally he can see Krishna, personally Krishna present before Bhishmadeva, and also tells all the Pandavas to take the blessings of Bhishmadeva. So in this verse, he's also asking or saying to the Krishna, means the Bhishmadeva is requesting Krishna, saying Krishna that please be with me, please be front of my eyes, so that at the time of I leave my last breath, when I breath a last minute, I want to take your darshan. Look at the intention of a pure devotee. So in this purport, when Prabhupada was writing, Prabhupada is emphasizing on what is the goal of his pure devotees. The goal, only one goal of the pure devotee is to attract Krishna and nothing else. You want to work and you want to serve Krishna just to attract Krishna. There is no other intention, nothing else, only to please Krishna. Then in Ramanujacharya's, just want to tell about the Ramanujacharya's pastimes. When Ramanujacharya asked, I think many people knows about, he asked 6 questions to the Lord Varadarajan Perumal. So he asked that, dear Lord, if devotee forget at the time of his death, so how can one remember you? Because they have served throughout the year, throughout their lifetime, and if they forget at the end of the last breath, because here also it says that in most of the shloka in Varaha Purana and Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, it says that there is a one shloka quoted by the Lord, Yadi Vathadi Doshe Namad Bhakto Mamanacha Smare Aham Smarami Bhakta Nayami Paramam Gathim. So Lord says here, even my devotee forget, I will remember them and I will take them back to my spiritual abode. So Krishna promises, the Lord promises that whoever forget at the time of their breath, Krishna will give the intelligence to remember. That is the reason devotees association are very important. And here Bhishmadeva intention or consciousness is so clear, because the pure devotee's consciousness also to be very pure, because he just want to see only Krishna until he closes eyes, until he leaves his material body. And we can also find one more example, our beloved Srila Prabhupada ki jai. During his last days, when his devotees asked, Prabhupada, do you have any desire? Then Prabhupada says that I don't have any desire. And he was translating Srimad Bhagavatam purport till the end of his last breath. So in Canto 10, 13th chapter purport, they are actually was the purport was written at the last breath of the Lord Krishna, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, 1 minute. So even we can see Prabhupada has a clear vision, clear consciousness. So this is an example of pure devotee. Even it is not necessary to translate Prabhupada, because he's already built 108 temples, more than 5,000 disciples he made, but still he wants to serve Krishna at the last breath. And he's setting an example, all of us, that a pure devotee's consciousness to be clear, and he fixed the Lord. Okay, and once by the grace of all the Vaishnavas, one of the beautiful Mataji has gifted me the many moons. The one beautiful book is written by His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj. When I was reading about that book, Giriraj Swami Maharaj was in this book. Giriraj, His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj talks about most of his pure devotees at the time of death and how was their consciousness, and also he glorifies the disciple, his own disciple. In that, I just want to recall a great Mataji called Archa Vigraha Mataji. So finally, at the end of the life, she got a cancer, and she served nicely. She picked on two things again: only the chanting of a holy name and serving the Vaishnavas. That was her life principle. So during her last day, she left. I mean, she was spending her last day in Vrindavan, and many higher souls were associating with her, and they were chanting, reading Bhagavatam and other things. When at the last time, nothing was going in the sense 2 months before her death, nothing was going into her body, nothing, no food and nothing. And look at the mood of the pure devotee. So Mataji was just praying that, oh Krishna, I'm so grateful, I'm very fortunate that I had only one attachment to eat, and that also has gone. Now I'm very much eager to hear, and till her last breath, she was just hearing the Bhagavata. So for us, it's very difficult, right? Because to hold Krishna or remember Krishna, develop faith on Krishnas and scriptures and all. So we are like, we are less on Govinda and we are more on Govindas. Whenever we go to temple, we think that, when is prasadam to be served and why it is late. We just concentrate on our belly more and all this and gratification. Okay, so let's go to the next one. I just wanted to add, yeah, we have one more minute. I'll just finish it. One pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Um, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu completed all his leelas, then he went to a Gaya. You know what happens when he comes to return from Gaya. When he returned from Gaya, he completely turned as a devotee. That's what most of his associates, close associate, intimate associates wants to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because the main intention of that avatar is to show what is how the devotees to be, right? So what happens when he came, and then when he come from Gaya, then he visited Advaita Acharya's house. Visited Advaita Acharya's house. Advaita Acharya was performing the deity worship to Lord Narayana. Then he can't he can't get that mood. He got into the ecstasy. He just lose his consciousness. Then immediately Advaita Acharya, whatever the paraphernalia he was worshipping the Lord Narayana, he bought all the paraphernalia and he was worshipping the Gauranga. Then Gadadhar Pandit was so shocked, like, what are you doing? Why are you worshipping the 18 years young boy? He is just a normal person. Then Advaitacharya says, please use your intelligence. Don't, because we know our intelligence are very, very less and very limited. So, he is not an ordinary person. Just think in his spiritual consciousness. Then he thought and he understood that he's not an ordinary person. He's a Gauranga himself. And I'll just conclude the last one small story in 1 minute. That Jaimini Rishi, we all of us know, because he's assistant of Vyasadev, who is written all the Puranas and all. So whatever Vyasadev was narrating, he was not that much convinced. Means he has a very less faith on the shloka. One of the shloka goes like that: Matra Tatra Bhavitam Vaha. It means that though we are a pure devotee, even a sannyasi, even the pure devotee, sit on equal position of his sister, mother, or daughter, his consciousness will spoil, impure, because our senses are so stubborn, so strong. It is so much attracted to the material world. Then he can't, he does not have a faith. He was like, what is this and all. Then Vyasadev has want to tested his consciousness and he want to teach a lesson. Then once what happens, I think you must have know the story. One day it was a heavy rain when his kutir, when he was doing the austerity, one young, beautiful girl has knocked the door and asked for a shelter. Then Gemini says, okay, please come in, because he said he thought that he has to help the needy who asks for a shelter. Then he said that, though I am a Brahmana, I am not supposed to do this, but with the humility, with the concern, to give a shelter, I will allow you to come into my kutir. And you know one thing, there is one condition. You go inside and you lock the door. Even though no matter whatever the cause, if I knock the door, you never open. Then she said, okay, fine. Then after that, after he came out and he was sleeping, he was just meditating on that, her beauty and her opulences and everything. She was so attractive. Then immediately woke up and he was banging the door. Then she said, you only said no, not to open. She was not opening. She opened the window and she said, I'm not going to open because this is what your instruction. Then he's like, no, that's wrong. Now it's gone. You open the door. She said, no, I can't open the door because I don't want to trouble you. Then what he did, he climbed up the roof and he was removing all the roof, and he wants to somehow get into the room, and he wants to get an association, and he wants to marry her. Then somehow he get into the house, Kotir, and then finally he said, he hold her hand, he hugged her, and she said, I want to marry you. Then she's like, if you want to marry me, there is one condition. Then he said, what's the condition? You have to take to the top of the hill, and you have to hold me, and you have to take to the top of the hill. Means you want to take her on his back, and she requested him to take the top of the hill so that she will marry him. Then he was so happy that, okay, fine. Look at the mood of Jaimini Muni. Then as he climbing, that body become heavy, and that soft, gentle, the feel has gone, and it's looking very hard and somewhat, the male feeling. And he turned back and he saw who was there. Finally, the his guru Vyasadev was there, and now he understood that this is the this is the test was given by his guru. So we have to be very careful about that lust and the other sense. What to say? Our senses are so adamant and very attractive. We have to be so careful. So that is what we can understand from this story. And this is all about whatever I heard from the senior Vaishnavas and my guidance of my Shiksha Gurus, Mathura, His Grace Mathura Madhusudan Prabhuji, and Rajanath Varadarajan Prabhuji. So they have helped me to share a few points, and whatever I said, which is pleased to you all because of the blessings of the Vaishnavas. Whatever I committed any mistakes and which is not favored to your ears, that's all because of my own anarthas, my own impurities, which I'm unable to deliver it as it is. So kindly forgive me and kindly bless me so that I can also improve my spiritual sadhanas and spiritual progress. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Very nicely explained Srimad Bhagavatam 1.9.24.
All glories to you, Prabhu. All glories to you and all the Vaishnavas, Prabhu. Without your support, I could have not even make an attempt to read the book, Prabhu.
Okay. How devotees also can remember the lotus feet of the Lord at the end of their lifetime. Smaran. So you have also explained the Smaran Mukta Kalivara. So many other points also we got, like instead of meditating on Govinda, they meditate on Govinda's bakery items and other things. Okay. So we will keep it open for others if they have any add-ons or questions or comments. Hare Krishna. If anybody have heard this Amala Puran, they can unmute themselves and they can share. So you all also can come on the video. The purport Srila Prabhupada writes that Krishna knows that, sorry, Bhishmadeva knows that he is Adi Narayan. So the source of all the Vishnus is Krishna. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Done with pranam. It was nice attempt. Gave a lot of points, especially pastimes. Was good. And I was somehow realizing whenever I read, whenever I get a doubt, I always feel that Srila Prabhupada answers that question in the next one. So yesterday, Vasudev Prabhu was asking what we should meditate on, and Vara Prabhu and I think Gopal Krishna Prabhu was saying today, when you read that, we could make out clearly that it says that you need to meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord. So sometimes when devotees have questions, this is my realization that I always somehow within the next purport or the very next, within 1 or 2 slokas, we get the reply. So I just wanted to share that today. That's all. Thank you again for sharing, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Mataji rightly said. Today is 2nd April. Prabhupada code also matching like our only request is that if you want happiness, if you want to prosper, make your life successful, you must read Bhagavad Gita thoroughly as it is. As Krishna says, don't try to misinterpret. Bombay, April 2nd, 1970. Okay, anybody else?
ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಆಶಾ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರವಚನ. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆವು. ನೀಲಮ್ಮ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೂ ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಮಾತಾಜಿ. ಜಮಿನಿ ಮುನಿಗಳ ಹೇಗೆ ಅವರು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅದನ್ನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಲಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಪ್ರಭುಗಳು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಮಧುರಾಪತಿ ಪ್ರಭುಗಳು ಆ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಫುಲ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಆವಾಗ್ಲೇ ಹೇಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಲಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಭುಗಳು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಅದೇ ತರ ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಮೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ನೀವು, ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್.